I think most women will agree with. It's something we've felt, but maybe not articulated. As women, here is a truth. We like to fill our homes with pretty things. But my first guest has an interesting argument that just might double as a justification. She says those pretty things can actually make us more productive. And I think I just found my new shopping partner. Antique expert Amanda Herring has studied the positive effects of aesthetics. And today she is giving us permission to go for the pretty pieces. In fact, she's recommending 5 specific goods that will spark joy and motivation where we may need it the most, that space being the kitchen. Welcome back to Studio 5, Amanda.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be here.
Power in the pretty. This is a bold claim, but you say science actually backs it up.
Yes, it's called the aesthetic usability effect. And it says that when things are more beautiful, we're more likely to overlook flaws in them. And also, they make us more creative and more productive.
I feel this.
I know, right?
You think of a clean kitchen, or you think of, a beautiful candle or an aroma setting a mood in the home, or heck, just a clear closet floor, right? Where I can then get dressed and feel creatively inspired, and maybe the colors I pull. We feel this.
Absolutely. And it's so cool that science is telling us now that this is a thing.
Is it reason to go shopping? I don't know, but I might try to drop that. What's it called again?
Aesthetic usability effect.
I'll be quoting that to a husband near you. You brought 5 items that you say bring bliss to the kitchen, and I love that word bliss. What's first on your list?
Well, first is mixing bowls.
These are gorgeous.
Here's the great thing about really gorgeous mixing bowls.
Yes.
They're also serving bowls.
Right?
So you're getting to, I love to cook sometimes, but I don't love to cook all the time. But I know that when I have pretty things in the kitchen to work with, I like cooking more.
There you go.
So adding something really beautiful. These are from England. They're just, colorful and fun and pretty. It's just a fun thing to add to your kitchen.
And it does, I think, force the eye and in turn force the budget to get a little more judicious. Like, what am I going to spend my money on? In this case, this will do multiple jobs, not just motivate me to toss a salad, but then to serve it, right? You can see where the train leaves the station and keeps on going. What's next on your list?
So I'm a firm believer in a good collection in your kitchen. So we have Spode, which Spode has been making pottery since the 1800s.
This is the blue and white.
This is blue and white. This is Italian, blue and white Italian, and they have been making this pattern since 1800.
So what defines Spode?
Spode is a maker. It's a company that makes products.
That's the company, and this is the extension of that line.
So you can buy them as antiques or vintage or new, and it's really fun. They're adding new, new kinds of products that are modern.
This is so funny to see kind of an old-fashioned pattern.
A porcelain cup.
In a modern-day vessel.
I know, isn't it so great?
Yeah, that is great.
And so that's the biggest cup of hot chocolate you'll ever drink.
Oh my gosh.
But why not?
We'll enjoy every sip, yeah.
But also, vintage or antique pieces are also really lovely. These are all a form of transferware and one of my favorite things to collect.
Does a color count as a collection? As in, I always search for good white pieces. They might not be all the same company or brand, but like a good, strong white collection?
I do the same thing. I have all white for all of my dishes and serving, but then I bring in color in the collections. Like if I want to add like a fun little pop of color, I might have a little plate that goes with it that I can put on top of my white.
Got it. Okay, we have bowls. We have a collection of some kind. How fun to define your personality through what that is in your own space. What's next?
Cookbooks.
Art.
Right?
Art.
But don't you love it when a cookbook actually has recipes you want to cook too?
Yes.
A lot of times I find I buy a cookbook because it looks pretty, but then inside there's nothing I really want to make.
I would never make that. I would never eat that. But darn it, it looks pretty.
But this one right here, I've made multiple things out of it, and I love it. And I think that it's fun to have a beautiful cookbook, but it's fun to have a beautiful, usable cookbook as well. So, really finding things that really suit your lifestyle or that remind you of a place you've been or that have family significance, I think those are really special.
I am really proud, and I know we should beware of pride, but I am really proud of a stack of cookbooks prominently displayed in my kitchen, all by friends and people I know and love.
It's the aesthetic.
Courtney Rich, Mandy Merriman, Cy Foster. I know all these women, and so to me, that pile of recipe books that I pull from often has such meaning and significance to me.
It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful.
And to have them displayed, I also have an easel right next to my stove, and I rotate, but I'll have one at a time because the covers themselves are just
gorgeous.
Again,
Works of art.
Yes. All right. What's next?
Next is boards. So we love a good board for cheese. This one's a fun shape. So it's really great that way, but also an antique board.
Wow.
They're really great. We do recommend being really careful about what you use these for. They are cleanable and usable, but be careful about what you use an antique board for. You never know what it's been through.
Sure.
So but for cheese, for bread, for display, these are just wonderful pieces.
You could even line it if you were nervous.
Oh, sure.
What might someone expect to invest in something of this size and this status?
At our shop, a board like this that might be usually they're from the late 1800s or early 1900s.
It has a story.
Range from about 100 to about 400, depending on size and age, things like that.
But again, something you would display and use if that's the investment you choose.
And I mean, look at the size of this thing. It's massive.
Yes. Yes, that's stunning. That's beautiful. Okay, last on your list?
Wooden tools.
Wooden tools.
Yep. We love a good wood tool. Now listen, I cannot live without my rubber spatula, so I'm not saying get rid of all your plastic.
Do you have a favorite? Because there's a meme that says when you reach a certain age, you have a favorite rubber spatula. I know, me too. Me too. It's funny.
It is funny, but I also love my wood tools, and wood tools are beautiful to display, and I think really more usable than a lot of metal tools in a lot of ways, especially on our modern pans that are nonstick and you know, don't use metal on them, but also like fun shapes in your wood.
Look at these, darling.
These are the least usable spoons I've ever seen, but they're so cute that they'll make you feel good.
Again, power of pretty today. Power of pretty. Amanda, thank you. 5 items that will bring bliss to your kitchen and that leverage that power of pretty Amanda taught us about today. Your store will do that for us as well in terms of inspiration and bliss. How can we pay a visit?
You can visit us. We're in Draper, Utah, and our address is 915 East, 126 South. Well, what do you say? 12600.
We gotcha. Name of the store?
La Petite Maison.
Better when she says it. It sounds more official. We love you and we appreciate your eye. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.